Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's last post ceremony. My name is Sandy Smith. This evening, we warmly welcome the family of Sergeant Grahame Hilton Clothier, whose story will be told shortly by Major Dale Cooper from the Australian Army, who is a member of Sergeant Clothier's family. We are honoured to acknowledge Rear Admiral Sarah Sharkey, Surgeon General, Australian Defence Force, Commander Joint Health, and the accompanying delegation. We also warmly welcome Air Commodore Peter McDermott, retired, Vice President of the Air Force Association. As always, we welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that love and support them. The live stream of this ceremony is made possible by the Returned and Services League of Australia and the RSL and Services Clubs Association. We welcome members who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection by family, visitors to the memorial, and students on behalf of the Hills Christian Community School from Verdun in South Australia. If you are able, please stand and join in singing the national anthem. Students, please be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's first World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved. And here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight we will read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 103,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and on operations for more than a century. But first, we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection.
Today we remember and pay tribute to Sergeant Grahame Hilton Clothier. Grahame Clothier was born in Queanbeyan, New South Wales on the 29th of April 1922, the son of Hilton and Sylvia Clothier. He grew up in a homestead named Hazelbrook in the Oaks Estate area of the Canberra region, near Queanbeyan, with his siblings Monica, Jeffrey and Raphael. Grahame attended Queen Intermediate High and Canberra High School. He went on to study part-time at Canberra University College while working as a clerk in the Department of the Interior. Grahame Clothier enlisted in the Royal Australian Air Force on the 21st of June 1941 in Sydney. After initial training, he began training as a pilot, attended elementary flying training school in Temora and service flying training school in Deniliquin. Grahame's brothers also served during the war. Brother Jeffrey was a member of the 9th Infantry Training Battalion before discharging in September 1942 and re-enlisting in the Royal Australian Navy, where he was a cook. Their brother Rafe joined the Royal Australian Air Force and served with No. 2 Personnel Depot until late 1945. On the 16th of May 1942, Grahame Clothier embarked from Sydney, bound for overseas service. As part of the Empire Air Training Scheme, he was one of almost 27,500 RAF pilots, navigators, wireless operators, air gunners and flight engineers who, throughout the course of the war, joined Royal Air Force squadrons or Australian squadrons based in Britain. Arriving in the United Kingdom in August 1942, he soon joined an advanced flying unit based at Leconfield, just north of Hull in Yorkshire. On the 27th of September, Sergeant Grahame Clothier was the pilot of an Oxford twin-engine monoplane undertaking a cross-country navigation exercise. With visibility poor due to the thick fog, Grahame descended to work out his position. The aircraft attempted to land in the fog near South Anston, near Sheffield, but hit a tree and dived into the ground. Sergeant Grahame Clothier was killed instantly. A court of inquiry heard from a witness from a nearby village who reported that he had seen the aircraft circle the village twice, very low, before crashing, and that it appeared to have engine trouble. A court of inquiry found the pilot was responsible for descending below a safe height, but also blamed his superiors for allowing the flight when poor weather had been reported. Grahame Clothier's funeral took place at Rose Hill Cemetery in Doncaster, 3 days after his death. Today, his remains lie under the inscription chosen by his grieving family. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we remember. He was 20 years old. His name is listed on the Roll of Honour on my left, among nearly 40,000 Australians who died while serving in the Second World War. His photograph is displayed today by the Pool of Reflection. This is but one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Sergeant Grahame Hilton Clothier, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the Ode and the sounding of the last post.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them. lest we forget. We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Poziere or in the low scrub at Gallipoli, with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. On behalf of the Director, staff and volunteers, thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial today and for your continued support during the Memorial's development project. We wish you all a very pleasant evening. Thank you.